Hello, everyone. Welcome tonight to the Round Table. I'm Luca, and this is TJ.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing very well.
And for tonight's edition, we are reviewing All Dogs Go to Heaven. All Dogs Go to Heaven is a family musical about a gambling dog named Charlie. After being murdered by his cohort Carface, he brings himself back to life with a magical watch and sets out to get his revenge on him. He comes across a young girl who teaches him about morality during his mission to get revenge on his former friend and rebuild his business. So, TJ, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Very charming, but very messy in a lot of aspects. I
Hmm.
guess we should. I guess we should talk about why I chose this. I chose this to figure out like a year or so ago. Has it been that long? We reviewed the All Dogs Go to Heaven Christmas special.
Almost a year ago.
I was Yeah, I was trying to. Well, it could have been. Doesn't matter when it took place. Really, yeah, that film. I was curious how it connected with the first film, and to be honest, I have more questions than before.
Hmm.
But we'll, we'll get into those later. Also the All Dogs Go to Heaven franchise, if you could call it that. I never watched the films, although I remember their presence in my childhood, mainly for like adverts and the like.
Hmm.
And it's a film series that isn't that much talked about, at least in my view. What'd you think of the movie, Luca?
Hmm. It was weird.
Oh yes, very yeah,
Yeah.
very weird.
Like, don't get me wrong, the art style is great, but the
Yeah,
story is just all over the place.
it's
It's a mess.
I didn't find it that. Although I wouldn't call it a complete mess, there is definitely a lot of odd tangents it goes on to.
Yeah.
I think this is something. I think a good place to start. So this film is a musical. What did you think of the music, the songs in this film?
Awful.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too keen on them myself. What was you? Yeah, anyone stick out in being good or bad?
I think the Let's Make Music Together song sticks out as bad,
I
just
think
because of how random it is.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think the song. Yeah, that's we'll probably have to get to that scene. I like that song fine. It might be one of my favorites from the soundtrack. Although it's in what do you call it? Although
Implicating.
it's in how do you call? Although how it was integrated into the film was very weird, especially very weird. But yeah, I also found I made a note of it. There it is. Love Survives, yeah.
Hmm.
Like Love Survives is played in the credits. That one's also okay. A decent tribute to one of the actresses. But
Hmm.
yeah, beyond that, most of the songs were just at best meh, at worst just kind of annoying. I wrote down a list. You Can't Keep a Good Dog Down is again probably the most meh of the bunch. I just didn't find it sort of. I don't know what you call this type of song. Like I'm tempted to call it like a ragtime type of musical number. I didn't find that aspect to be like that engaging, and also I don't think it's the best introduction to Charlie as well as the world. Let Me Be Surprised. I felt Let Me Be Surprised. Cool visuals. That's a song when Charlie goes into heaven and sees and
Hmm.
you see a lot of cool things with that. But the song itself is just not that is just has no real flow. It's and is just all over the place. What's Yours Is Mine is a Barney song. I really did not like that song. It's very childish, and the use of metal drums really like turned me off. I felt that was just like they're going for sort of a Caribbean esque like
Hmm.
song, but I don't think but it doesn't really fit into the whole vibe of the film, and just feels again very childish and honestly kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think and did I mention them all? Yeah, and when what's mine is let's see. Oh yes. I'll be home soon. I'll be home is again fine, but I feel like the use of another, but the voice change, although arguably necessary, was just very distracting, and I didn't really get much out of the visuals. Overall, and I would like to hear your opinion on this, this film, I don't think the music numbers really add to the film, like compared to this to like a Disney musical. Like I think if you took out the I think if you took out the music from this film, you really wouldn't be missing much outside of a few interesting scenes.
I think the musicals just make the film more and more annoying.
Yeah. It is yeah. Also, did you find the film annoying at points outside of the music?
Yeah, like I was annoyed by like the acting of Charlie and Itchy. It's not the greatest.
I know I really like the acting, but I'll get to that later. I think yeah, they're just nothing. There's no real big overarching things, but I felt like some of the things were a little annoying. Like some of the comedy is very much in your face. I didn't like the.
I didn't get the scene at the beginning. The scene where Itchy and Charlie are digging for treasure. Like well, why are they doing that?
Oh, they're not digging for treasure. Itchy is getting Charlie out of the pound.
Oh, okay.
Hence why they're running away.
Oh.
So I really enjoyed that opening. I like the use of lighting. Like they have a headlamp and it keeps on flickering, so you get like these sort of flickers to black, which are cool. Yeah. So I quite like that opening. Although I think the music they added felt just again annoying. Also just the editing felt weird to me. Like I don't know exactly editing and pasting. It felt some of the scenes just felt they felt like they didn't really have the right amount of time going on between them. Like especially when they save Marie, that just felt weirdly awkward.
I think they could have used go on.
And some of the wipes to black are just very, very obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like they do like these sort of shape things, which just really took me out of the movie.
I think they could have used better transitions. They're all just fades to black.
I mean, it's better than the wipes and like how they have like the aperture close and like those strange box closing.
Yeah.
It does not better. I prefer fading to black.
I just wish they were more creative with them.
Yeah, I feel they were decently creative, but I just feel it was just badly executed. I guess. You said you don't like the acting. I actually quite like the acting for Itchy and Charlie. I feel both Dom DeLuise and what's his name, Dom DeLuise. I feel Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds have a very good rapport. Apparently they did a lot of ad-libbing, which for me worked. I could see how that could be annoying. I felt that was very.
Go on.
What?
Sorry, you first.
I felt that their relationship is very, very very charming. I felt the animation between the two. Honestly, a thing I liked about the animation, we could get a little more detailed into this later. I love how the characters interact with not only each other but the world. I especially like the scene where Charlie and Carface meet after he escapes, and how they're playing with the radio, and a few other scenes and there are a lot of scenes like that which I really enjoyed. And I also like how sometimes you get those cool moments where the characters don't really they're not entirely paying attention to each other, and so they kind of have dialogue where one is saying they're only half pay attention, and they're both speaking about different things. I really like that type of dialogue, and I feel it's very well done here.
Charlie and Itchy's voices just sound bland to me. I'm not seeing much personality from them.
I felt he had a decent amount of personality. Itchy especially, he's played by Dom DeLuise, and It's Dom DeLuise being Dom DeLuise, but he's pretty well. But I feel he's pretty well implemented here. Again, I think like his ad libbing adds to that. For me, it is. I feel like his ad libbing adds a lot to that, and how its comedy feels much more organic in this film. Like, at least compared to like going back to like Secret of Nim, like compare that to Jeremy, which I'm not too annoyed by Jeremy, but I don't feel his comedy is as well integrated as as Itchy. It feels a lot more appropriate for this world and character. I feel like, and he also has a decent amount of personality, especially. And I feel like, yeah, and actually, I don't know. I like Charlie's voice. Also, I appreciate something I appreciate about Charlie. I I appreciated how much of a jerk he is. I think just to finish up actresses, Judith Barcy. How'd you find her?
I found out about her through a movie called Limp for a Time. She plays a little green dinosaur named Ducky.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie too well, but I feel like she did a better job in Land Before Time, would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, which is a shame, especially considering what happened. But like, and in this film, she is very much a kid she very much is a kid. Like, she's not doing the best. However, it does work for her character of Anne Marie. So a little annoying, but I felt that worked okay. Just some other things. Vic Tayback is also fun as Carface, although I wish she was. I think Carface is a decent villain overall, although something just didn't click with me. I think just some of the aspects of his character could have been like worked into the story a lot better, like his love of cars. As weird as that says. But yeah, like going back to Charlie, I really enjoyed how much of a jerk he was, really.
Yeah.
Like he is essentially the villain in Marie's story. Like, he's manipulating a child, he's a jerk to Itchy. He's still very charming, and also I feel like how'd you think of his redemption arc for the film? How'd you feel that went?
It went okay. Like, he saved a girl's life. I think he redeemed himself in that way.
But what about the steps to that? Do you feel like it was an organic payoff? Like, do you think like he deserved it throughout the film?
He starts to care about this girl like towards the end, so yeah, I think so.
Even then, I feel it's actually, well, first off, this is it's kind of neat because this film is a little bit of ahead of its time, like compared to like films today, like
he becomes more selfless.
Megamind and most recently Bad Guys.
Yeah,
it's neat to see a similar plot like in the 80s, well, late 80s, but you get the idea. So that's very cool. Yeah. I feel like his arc is very well done. I feel like his relationship with Anne is organically built on through the film, and I don't like, there are no real scenes I felt were out of character for him. It's very gradual. I like how in near the third act, really, like in the third act when he like almost lets her stay with a new family, but selfishly convinces her to go with him, ultimately like putting Anne in danger. And I like how he's like dealing with the consequences of that. I feel it was very well executed. Should we talk about like, I think we should talk about some of the weird things that happen in this movie. Again, there's just so many odd bits. I guess we want to talk about the alligator scene.
Oh yeah, that one was odd for sure.
Yeah.
They only throw in the alligator so he can save the day later on.
Yeah, it's a very the musical number is. I like the song fine, but like the musical number is on one hand, it's kind of cool. Like, I like how much they push the visuals,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just so weird. Most of the movie isn't that fantastic. So in this, like, the scene, it has so the scene is basically like Marie and Charlie both get kidnapped and almost sacrificed to this alligator, but the alligator thinks Charlie's voice is so beautiful. He or she, we don't know their gender. Like, they decide to spare him, which, even though, like, Charlie's
Yeah.
voice is never really up aspect throughout most of the film until again the end, when after hearing it the alligator helps out. But it is, again, it's such a weird departure from the film. Like, most of this film's musical numbers, not that they're not that, like, fantastical. You don't have that many, like, ones like, say, Under the Sea or Be Our Guest, where reality is very much twisted. Most of them are very grounded. But then you have, like, this scene where it, like becomes an opera almost, and, like, all this just weird stuff happen. It's an odd it is an odd scene, very odd.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, also Killer is Carface's henchman.
Mhm.
He has a laser gun near the end, which is very odd, but I presume it's there because they didn't want to have a gun in the film, which, okay, fair enough, but still just such a strange addition. Let's see.
Yeah.
Any other odd bits you can think of?
The scene where Killer shoots Charlie with the laser gun.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't die the first time he gets shot.
Which presumably because he's, like, protected by the watch, but it is it's not that well explained.
Yeah.
I think to backtrack a little bit. You think, like, how do you think Anne's relationship with Charlie went? How do you feel about that?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, some moments they're happy with each other, others they're upset with each other.
Yes, like the movie.
And Charlie's a manipulative jerk to Anne Marie for, like, the majority of the film.
Yeah.
He only reforms, like, at the very, very end.
I wouldn't say that. He definitely, he is a jerk throughout most of the film, but he doesn't treat her terribly throughout the film. Like, he does nice things for her. Like, he does take her advice here and there. Yeah. And I do think he does earn, like, his redemption. Overall I found their relationship to be sweet, even if it does take a while to really build up.
Yeah, but it would have been nicer if his redemption, like, came sooner.
Yeah.
It feels rushed.
Yeah, a little bit. It's also, yeah. What else? I guess you should talk about the animation. Anything to say on that front?
The animation was fabulous. I like the animation of Heaven, and I like the animation of, like, the scenery they're in. I like how the musical of the Gator was animated.
What do you like about the musical number? I like that one too, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
I just like the visuals of it. It was charming to me.
Okay. I quite like the animation myself. There was a few times when
the glow like to the heaven gates looked beautiful.
Yeah, you see a lot of the glowing effects from Don Bluth's other films, and they're very pretty here as well.
Yeah, and like it's all really detailed.
I quite liked it as well. There are a few times when compositing feels rough. I don't know if that's just the rip to be got or what, but, like, some of the compositing just looks very bad. But yeah, the character acting is very good. I love how the characters are constantly interacting with the environment. That feels very well handled. There's a lot of expression, design, as for the look of the world. There's a lot of cool designs for the dogs. The movie really takes advantage of that, and like gives them all like great ways of moving. Especially love how Carface kind of looks like a gorilla, how he walks around. Like I feel that was very well executed. The setting itself is very well done. Unlike the Christmas special, this takes place in New Orleans. Again, I don't know how they got to like Los Angeles, but that's probably in the TV show. But yeah, I really like the world of the dogs and how like the uses of junk. I especially love Carface's office and casino and how that's built into a boat. It's very creative, very pleasing. Like animation, like heaven is very surreal too. There's a bunch of watches everywhere, and there's like at the same time it's very airy and surreal. Hell especially is very well done. Charlie has a dream where he goes to hell. It's amazing. So like I guess a little context. In this movie, dogs automatically go to heaven, and by rejecting heaven, um Charlie is damned himself to hell essentially. And so it is, yeah, it is, and so like he has a nightmare near the middle of the film, and it is super well animated. Like I like the change in color palette to like the reds of the lava and the creepy designs. It's neat to see like Don Bluth style like in such a demonic place. Yeah, I really enjoyed that sequence.
Yeah,
Oh
me
gosh.
too.
Not as much supernatural stuff as I was expecting, though. Like, there's sort of like a ticking clock aspect, quite literally with. Actually, not really. I was thinking that the clock would be like sort of a timer, like like he only got so much time left on that clock, and when it ran out, like Charlie would die. But it doesn't seem to be the case with that, so that was a little disappointing. But yeah, like not as much like supernatural stuff as I was expecting. It is interesting. It's again, the movie like has some mature elements. Like it is like I find it very interesting that Charlie, as mentioned, rejects heaven. Like, and I wish the movie went a little bit more into that. But I feel like, but I feel like it's interesting for that film to bring up. And do you mind if we start closing this out?
Sure.
And overall, I felt the movie is very messy, but I do appreciate a lot of aspects of it, especially how it tries, I should say, touches on like darker themes that usually don't appear in kids' movies, especially around this time. Like I enjoy how Charlie is sort of this odd protagonist for a movie like this. The animation is very charming, if not rough around some of the edges. The story is, if nothing else, memorable. Yeah. So overall, it's a 7 out of 5. I would say it's an interesting time. I don't think people would be bored watching this movie. 7 out of 5. Might be a little generous, but like I feel like it was. But
you mean 7 out of 10?
I feel like it was 7 out of 10. Thank you.
Oh,
that was my bad. 7 out of 10. I do like. There's again a lot of rough edges, but I feel like it keeps on being interesting, and there are a lot of genuinely good elements for me.
I found the visuals really appealing. The acting of the two main characters wasn't like the greatest in my opinion, and I think I'd give the movie like a light recommendation. I think it will appeal to a younger audience.
Yeah. Plus, it's free on Tubi right now, so
yeah,
I'm not really missing much watching it.
I'd probably rate this film a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Good for children, a decent film watch for children, and for for older audiences. Still an interesting time. if you have nostalgia or something, it might not be a bad idea to revisit it. If nothing else, to laugh at it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any idea what you want to try next time?
I like to review Luca.
Luca. Okay. Thank you for your time, Luca, and I'll see you in a week.
Thank you, TJ.